Good evening, everybody. We will be starting very shortly. Just waiting a couple minutes here. Let a few other people join. Really happy you're tuning in this evening. I'd appreciate it if you would say hello in the comments. If you're on your phone, you got to click on the video and you'll see a live chat at the bottom. Go ahead and say hello. Let me know that you're watching. Because from where I'm at, I can't tell who's watching, and I always enjoy finding out who's tuning in. I see European Beauty is tuned in. Hey, buddy. Glad you're tuned in. If you're on a laptop, when you click on the video, you'll have to go over to the right-hand side, and you'll see a chat. You can say hello there. It is a beautiful Tuesday evening, and I'm glad you're tuning in to see what we've got in store. I think it's going to be a fun show. Got a lot of great things I want to talk about Japan. I was an alien in Japan. All right, let's get started here. Let's see here. I'm host, producer, and engineer all in one. So sometimes it gets a little tricky here. Let's I'm gonna kill the little video loop and we'll fade out the music. How's everybody doing tonight? This is Middle-Aged Dad Life. Changed the name of the channel here recently. My name is David, and I'm glad you tuned in tonight. If you wouldn't mind saying hello in the comments below, let me know that you're watching. I'd appreciate it. It's always fun to find out who's tuned in. And any questions you've got, anything you want to talk about, I'm happy to share whatever I can, answer your questions however I can. Also, I'd appreciate it if either now or after the show, if you would repost the show. If you enjoy this, want other people to watch, the more the merrier. I always enjoy as many people as we can have. Get some diverse questions. That'd be great. But tonight, what I want to talk about, I have been blessed to travel to Japan twice, once in 2018 and once in 2020, like right at the start of COVID, right before it became a thing. And it was a really amazing experience both times. So what I want to kind of do tonight is just tell you about my experience, show you my experience with my pictures, some videos, and just kind of give you my take on it. It really, really was eye-opening. And I've traveled all over the world. I've been through Europe multiple times, through North America, all over the place. And I've been in Africa, and I've been to Japan twice. And I got to say, Japan is the most alien-feeling world I've ever been to. And I mean that in a good way. It is really an amazing place. It's so different than life here in the United States and life in Europe. And that's what I want to share with you guys tonight. Just what makes it different, what I found special, what I found odd. I got to tell you before we begin, Got a little bit of a cough still, so I don't have any sake with me for the Japan show, but I've got some Lindisfarne mead from England that I brought home with me. So I'll be sipping on that tonight, try to help with my cough here. But let's dive in. And like I said, drop your questions in the comments, and we'll be reading those as we go. But I've got some pictures here. I'm just going to kind of, this is going to be kind of like watching Aunt Eunice's pictures when she gets home from vacation. I hope to make it a little bit more interesting than that. And your questions, of course, will help with that. But, just let me know. Well, first of all, since both these times were business trips, okay? And the first time I got to fly business class, and it was quite bougie. Every time you get on like a 747 for an international flight, they make everybody that's in coach walk past the business section, and you can see where everybody have their beds and everything. I was actually fortunate enough this time to actually get to stop in to the business section, have my bed during the flight. So it was quite amazing, something I'll probably never get to do again. You can adjust your seat. This is like how awesomeness is. You got the headrest, the lumbar, the mattress you can lay down. You can make it softer, firmer. It was pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. This is I went for the Japanese food in the business class for the dinner, and Japanese food, it is so different than Western food. And I mean, even just like what you think would be like a vegetable that we have here is prepared so differently, and often it's like served cold. So it's like it really takes some getting used to. If you've never had authentic Japanese, I had not. So I can handle the vegetables and stuff. Seafood, I'm not big on, so the seafood was a little difficult for me. But I did eat some. We'll see some of that later. I ate some really weird stuff. I'll show you later in the show. You will not believe what I ate when I was in Japan. I'm serious. I couldn't believe it, but I ate it. I'll show it to you. Okay. So yeah, we're flying here. It's pretty amazing. Most of the time I was over land flying to Japan. Even like when, I was saying, oh, we're going to fly across the ocean. You don't. You fly up over the globe and kind of down the coast of Russia. And so almost, never over water. This is flying into Tokyo, and you can see in the distance there, right at the kind of the orange in the sunset, is Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji is this just beautiful landmark. You can see it like if you get up in any building in Tokyo, you can look out and see Mount Fuji. And I don't know, when you get on the Shinkansen train and you're traveling, it's always kind of like a landmark. You can see it. It's so magnificent. But you can see the city lights below there. There's a better close up I took. These are all my pictures. But yeah, just look how majestic that Mount Fuji is. It's really awesome. There's the bay. Now, who we got there, this is a friend of mine from work. He's retired, but he was our host. And he took us to this little Japanese restaurant before we went to bed. And you can see a Christmas tree there. What really surprised me, Japan is not a Christian nation. They're mostly Buddhist and Shinto, but they really celebrate Christmas. There was Christmas music everywhere, Christmas trees, Christmas sales, religious music, Christmas hymns and stuff like that. That really shocked me that I was like, man, I didn't realize you guys were so into Christmas. They have, now I'm going to forget the name of it. Tempura is what it's called. Tempura. They take any kind of vegetable and they deep fry it. And like on the left here, I think these are okra. And I can't remember what all's here. Maybe some zucchini and potatoes, I think, on the right-hand side. I can't remember what these other ones are here. But then, they'll just give you like a head of lettuce, you can see here. And then look at this. This is a dish of soy sauce. And this is kind of funny. Everybody uses chopsticks over there, okay? And this soy sauce dish not like for our table and then they're going to dump it out when we're done. This is like for every guest that comes through that day. So they give it to you here, and people just take their chopsticks and they'll get their food and they'll dip it in the soy sauce, and those chopsticks go in the soy sauce and then they put it in their mouth. It is kind of strange. Took some getting used to. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, but everybody was doing it. It's kind of funny. This is a salad, and you'll see on the salad they put a lot of this. It kind of looks like powdery stuff. It's dried. It's like smoked dried fish flakes. So it's I don't like fish, but this had kind of like a smoky flavor to it. And it was all over a lot of stuff. So I could eat this, but I can't remember. There was like these are some kind of vegetables, like julienne, these long, like white things, and some salad. So the salad was a lot different than what we would think of as a salad in the US, but it was pretty good. European Beauty says, I would suffer from the food. I haven't seen anything so far that I eat. Yeah, it's definitely different. European Beauty. This is my hotel room, and hotel rooms, like you probably heard, are super tiny. And when you come in, you can see over here they've got like a tile area where they want you to step with your shoes, but then you're supposed to take off your shoes and put on. They give you nice leather sandals to wear in the hotel room. And I wore them because, I'm going to respect these people, not wear my dirty shoes in the apartment. But let me show you around the room a little bit. I mean, like this is standing in the hallway. You can see there's just barely enough room for a single bed. There's a little desk there with a little a little fridge and my suitcase. My suitcase about takes up the whole floor. But this is what I like. The bathrooms are pretty cool. It's like you're in the future or something. Number one, let's see if I got a picture of the toilet. All of the toilets are bidets, but they're like mechanized. And I don't think I got pictures of the controls on this one. But you've got like, number one, you'll have a warm seat usually. You can spray in the back. You can spray in the front. You can dry off when you're done. Japan, I think my dad said this, Japan's the only place where you'll come out of a bathroom cleaner than when you went in. And I think he's right. But let's see here. I've got a picture of a bathroom later, but a lot of them you can see outside the tub right here. This is like a gutter, and it's sloped and it goes down to a drain. And so like a lot of the bathrooms, you can almost get like water outside of the tub, or one of these ones don't even have like a shower curtain or anything. It's just like a wet room, and they'll have like a drain in the floor or something. It's kind of interesting. Or some of them, like the shower head also doubles as like the sink, where you wash your hands and brush your teeth. So kind of like transformer bathrooms, kind of interesting, but they're really tiny, and they're kind of like these little pre-packaged rooms. You can see the paneling on the wall here. It's almost like you could prefab this little room and just like stick it in the hotel. It's pretty interesting. They give you pajamas. Each hotel I went to, they gave me pajamas, which is kind of interesting. I didn't wear them, but just something that they do there. Let me see. This is where I was working. Was it's in Tokyo, but it's the neighborhood is called Shinjuku, and it's like the financial and maybe like kind of like the Times Square kind of area, or the Times Square area is kind of close to there. But Shinjuku is like where all the big businesses are and everything. This is a picture of the TV. The TV in Japan killed me. All right. I really liked a lot about Japan, but at the end of the day, I was there by myself. Well, actually, the first time I traveled with somebody. The second time I went, I was by myself. So at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, I'm going to see what's on TV, and you put it on, and there were about like 6 channels, and they were all almost identical, and they all had these like really weird like cartoon characters like this, and like really big graphics. Like look at the time up here. And it was just like, like look at this. This is like a news show, and it's just these really big graphics. Just looked really different from anything I'd seen before. I think I've got a video later that shows some of the TV shows, and they were like, Well, we'll see if I got it later. It's really strange. My first morning, I went for a walk before work, and this is just kind of in the middle of the city. This is a Shinto temple, and you can tell it's a Shinto temple by these lightning bolts that they have hanging here. And these are called shide, I think, and it's supposed to represent God, like connecting to Earth, and so like divinity, reaching out to us. But you see those at all the temples, those lightning bolts. This is just like a typical little convenience store. A lot of the stores are really small and kind of packed. This one actually looks worse than the others I went in. You can see the floor is kind of worn here, but they are just like jam packed, floor to ceiling with product and like bright lights and really like it sounds like anime, like female voices talking over the speakers. Like it's not a natural female voice. It's like a real high pitched kind of fakey cartoon voice. Even in the train stations, that's the way the announcements are made. It's really peculiar, pretty interesting. This is what I was saying. It's kind of like their Times Square. It's kind of funny. They kind of adopted some Western architecture here, but this is still in Shinjuku, close to where I was working. I I love just kind of the mundane things and how they're similar or how they're different. This is a steamroller on the back of this truck, and just like how immaculate this is. In the United States, when we've got any kind of heavy equipment driving down the road, you can't be anywhere near it because it's always got mud or rocks, and they're always falling off and chipping your windshield and just making a mess of the road. But in Japan, I mean, you could eat off of a trash truck. They are so clean and pristine. They really take pride. I mean, just look at the street. Look how beautiful and clean the street is. They clean up all the leaves. There's no cigarette butts. You're not going to find people littering. Everybody takes pride and cleans up. And I mean, I've been to New York City, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and it is so different to go from a place like New York City to Tokyo. It really is. You'd think they'd be similar because they're big cities, but it's like night and day. This is still just walking around the temples. Yeah, here's the close up, and you can see people on their way to work, stopping by the Shinto temple, making an offering or a prayer. There's some interesting architecture. I always like to look at the cars when I'm there. You see a lot of Hondas, Hyundai, Nissan, Toyota, of course. But all the styles that they had there were different than what we have in the United States. I didn't see like the Civic or the Accord. Maybe there are some there, but mostly they were much different models than what we'd have here. And I almost think if they brought some of those models to the United States, they'd probably sell pretty well because they look so foreign to us. Maybe I've got some examples later on. I'll show you. Here's just another example of a strange building. I'm sure architect Older would really love this building. Not definitely a modern design, but I think it's kind of interesting. It's better than just a big rectangular block building. It's kind of interesting. On the way to work, it's very strange. Everybody is dead silent. Nobody talks. When you come to a crosswalk and you got to wait, I mean, it's just dead silent. I turned around and looked, and there's just like a sea of people behind me. Nobody says a word. And it wasn't that everybody was just on their cell phones like now in the United States. It was just everybody's like orderly, quiet. They don't want to be disruptive. They don't want to draw attention to themselves. It was kind of surreal. It was very I don't know. It just felt like I was in an alien world, so different than what I'm used to. This is just the lobby of the office where I was working. This is the view out from the office where I was working. They've got all these signs for like robot restaurant, robot karaoke. They've got restaurants where you can go and have coffee and like hold a hedgehog or kittens. Like they've got some really strange concepts that people really love. So I don't know if that stuff will make it over here to the United States or not, but that kind of stuff caught my eye. It was just really different. I didn't go to any of them. I walked by some and looked in the windows, but pretty interesting. This is the office building. I would not want to work. This looks like when you watch like a movie about the 70s or 80s in the United States in a big corporate office building. Maybe there's still some like this in the US. I don't know, but I would not want to work in a sea of cubicles like that. Oh, this is just some food, some lunch. Let me see. This is Mount Fuji from the office building. You can see, I mean, this is like miles and miles and miles away. I zoomed in with my camera, but kind of cool. All right, so this is the first dinner. This is, I love food so much. And I like to eat the local food. I haven't found anything that I cannot eat. Well, I take that back. There's something later in the show I'll show you that I had difficulty with. But if I'm served it, I'm going to eat it. And this is actually Korean, a Korean restaurant in Tokyo. This is kimchi here. The first time I had kimchi, and it was really interesting. It was such unique flavors. If you've ever had kimchi, let me know and tell me what you thought about it. I wouldn't say I liked it. It was just interesting. It was different. It was kind of sour. It was really sour. It was kind of cold. It wasn't like hot or anything. And it was just, man, I have a hard time describing the food flavors because they're just so different. I would just say it was kind of sour. This here is actually beef tongue. So you can kind of see it here. So they take the cow tongue and they slice it really thin like pepperoni. And at this place, this is like a Korean barbecue. So this was a flame underneath this grill, and this is in the middle of the table. And they would just serve up all this food, all this raw food, and you'd throw it on the grill, cook it, and eat it. And honestly, this was really good. It tastes like salami. If you took a salami and just like stuck it on the stove and just kind of crisped it up, that's what this was like. It was really good. This is just a group of the guys from work. That's me when I had more hair back in the corner back here. But there you can see, whoops. Yeah, you can see kind of the fire here, and they gave us all these vegetables. Okra is a really big vegetable over here. I know in the United States South, they eat okra a lot, but I still think that it's cooked. Here you would get it cold or fried, the tempura, or here we're just cooking raw okra over this flame, and just some like onion and stuff like that. This is kind of cool. There was like a little rice patty. Let me see. Yeah, we were all having some beer and having a nice time. I don't think I've got a close-up picture of that. I don't. But what it was let me turn off the sound. It was like a little rice cake like this, just like they took white rice and just kind of compacted together and then laid a piece of raw beef, like filet mignon, over top, and they brought it out raw. And then they just took that torch, and I videotaped the entirety of it. It was just a few seconds, just hit the meat just to make it not red on top. And then you just grab it with your chopsticks and down the hatch. And it was super tender. It was really good. This is just walking through the train station. Some of these pictures are just kind of, I don't know if there's any worthwhile. So I don't think so. So there was, yeah, that's worth mentioning. So that lady's speaking in English. One thing that surprised me is I was thinking everything is going to be in Japanese. There was actually quite a bit in English. Actually, when we landed I flew in, there's two airports in Tokyo, Haneda and Narita. I flew into Haneda. And when I landed, it said in English, really big on the side of the airport, Haneda or Tokyo International Airport. And I was like, that's in English. So yeah, it's not uncommon to see English, but not a lot of people, unless they're in business, speak English, or tourism, they speak English. And a lot of signs are not in English. So Google makes it easy. You got Google Translate on your phone. You can take a picture of it and see. Or there's a couple times I would have to type out a message and show it to somebody on the train, like, "Am I going the right place?" And everybody was super helpful. European Beauty is laughing at me. Haha, a little more hair. Yeah. I had a little more hair back then. Yep, the good old days. This is they call them Shinkansen, but they're bullet trains, and these things travel at like 200 miles per hour or more. And man, they're so nice. I think I got some pictures in here. Yeah, this is actually a picture of Mount Fuji from the Shinkansen. And like when you're going, Tokyo's in the east of, I can't remember the name of the main island there, but it's in the east. And so if you're basically going to anywhere in the main island, like Kyoto or Hiroshima or wherever else, Nagoya, you're going to pass Mount Fuji. And so when you're on the train, if you're going west, it's going to be to your right. It's north of the train tracks, but it's not far from the train tracks. I mean, you see it really close. So if you're headed west from Tokyo, get a seat on the Shinkansen on the right-hand side. And if you're headed back to Tokyo from, somewhere west in Japan, get a seat on the left-hand side. So you can see in this picture, I struggled to get a picture without getting this guy's head in the picture and this, the window. I didn't know about this. This is my first time on the Shinkansen. But just look at this, this is in the morning. Look how clean and beautiful the streets are. No trash. This is on a subway or metro train. And you can see this is so different than New York City or Philadelphia or Washington, D.C., Chicago, any of these places. I've been on the public transit, and it's just, you think you're going to get beat up. There's people throwing stuff, just dirt and God only knows what on the seats. And, here it was so orderly. It was so, I wouldn't want to eat off the floor, but you probably could. I mean, it was clean. You just really feel at home and comfortable on the trains. These are, urinals. Ladies, you're probably not used to seeing these, but these are urinals. They don't look too much different than what we have over here, but I don't know. I try to get a picture of all the high-tech stuff. Kind of interesting. I can't remember what the make of this car is. This is, I don't know what it is. Something that we don't have over here, but it was pretty cool. I think I've got pictures. Yeah. This is inside. Okay, so like they're like in England. They sit the driver's on the right-hand side and they drive on the left side of the road. But look at this. They had a TV screen in this car, and they were watching TV while we were driving around. And the other cool thing was these vents for the air conditioner, they oscillate. So the guy could like set it, and they would like just keep going like this to make sure that they're blowing the air, evenly around the cabin. It's kind of interesting. A big dish that you see there is I'm gonna forget the name. It's curry. This is like I can't remember if this is chicken or pork cutlet fried, and then this is curry sauce, and it's different than like Indian curry. This place was called Koku Ichiban. Ichiban means like first, so this is like the best. Supposed to be like, oh, the number one curry place. But you can like tell them like, I want number 5 heat, or I think it's 1 through 10, or maybe it's 1 through 5, and you can tell them how spicy you want it and get it. And it was really good. I really enjoyed this food. This was something more like what I'm used to, Western type food. Yeah, look at this Honda minivan. You clearly see it's a Honda. It looks like a Transformer or something, doesn't it? I think that this would sell really well in the United States to, like a select niche customer. I think if they were, you see Cybertrucks driving around now because they look different. People really like them. I think if Honda brought this to the U.S., they would sell quite a few of them. All right. This is dinner again. Now, this is dinner I think it was in Nagoya. Yeah. And you guys have heard about puffer fish. This is, that's what this is. They call it fugu. And it's fugu. It's like the white part. but it was like dried over, like smoke dried. So it had kind of like a smoky flavor to it. And they put it into Jello. So there's like Jello cubes with the fugu inside, which is like a really strange combination to eat. You know, I'm eating like a smoked fish in Jello, and this is seaweed served as like a little garnish and some kind of like cream sauce. I ate it. It was interesting, and the my business associate, it was a great big table, and the guy next to me was like, "This is really special. Like this is very rare to have this." So I certainly wasn't going to be like, "Oh no, I can't eat that." I ate it, and I'm glad I did. It was certainly something I'll never forget. Here's some sake, which I really enjoyed. It was really good. You can get it hot or cold, but it was super smooth, really good. Now, I am not a fish guy at all, okay? I'm not a sushi guy. I'm not a Long John Silver's guy. I do not eat fish, okay? I hate fish. I can't stand the smell. I don't like the taste, texture, anything about it. I think fish are ugly. Their scales and they're slimy and their eyeballs are sticking out. There's nothing attractive about a fish whatsoever. But this is sashimi, which just means raw. This is fish sashimi, and this is tuna, the red one here. This is squid. This is red snapper, and this is wasabi, like real actual wasabi. And I got to say, the red snapper had a little bit of a fish taste to it. The squid or calamari had it's kind of chewy a little bit, but the tuna was it was like it was almost like putting one of those big marshmallows in your mouth. It was like just like a real soft texture, and you could just like take your tongue and just push it right through. It would almost melt in your mouth. It was really good. It did not taste like fish, and the way I ate it, they give you soy sauce, like a little dish, and this one's not communal. This is just yours, but you take the fish and like kind of rub it in the wasabi, dip it in the soy sauce, and then down the hatch. And I would eat that tuna again. It was really good. That was kind of like the starter for the meal. This here, this is. I'm trying to think. I'm a foodie. I love food. Okay, this is like top 5 dishes I've ever had in my life for sure. Okay, this is called shabu shabu, and what this is it's really expensive beef. I don't know if it's Wagyu or Kobe or what it is, but they you can see how marbled it is, all the fat through here. Okay, so they take the beef and then they cut it like paper thin. It's super super thin. They bring it to you raw, and I've got a video here. This lady shows how to cook it. Okay, and this is why it's called shabu shabu. Let me show you here. Oh, they also bring you like a basket of raw vegetables. Like these are mushrooms here. These big brown things. These are carrots. These are like some little microgreens. I can't remember what they were, and some little onions, some little tiny mushrooms. These are like really typical. I had these at a lot of different dinners that I went to, and then tofu back here. You can see the tofu cubes and some seaweed. I don't like the seaweed. I could eat everything else here. And then this is I think these are like rice noodles. They're these like clear noodles. But all of this stuff goes in. You can see this boiling cauldron right here. Okay. So this lady is going to show you how to do this. You can see how quickly it turns. So this is boiling water. She put the meat in, and almost immediately it's cooked. She just pulls it out and puts it in the soy sauce, and then you eat it right out of the soy sauce. Oh, it just melts in your mouth. It's got all that marbling in it, and so thin. I've got like a secret fat man living inside me. Food is my weakness, and I struggle to not just eat constantly. And like something like this, it is just so good. If you ever have a chance to have shabu shabu, like real shabu shabu, take it. If you go to Japan, get shabu shabu. Okay, and they call it shabu shabu because of it's supposed to be like the sound of the boiling water. The water you put in the meat and it boils it up, and that's why it's got that name. This was something else they served. This is like I think it's a rice dumpling, and actually I wrote down here. This is mochi, okay, but it's like a mochi which is rice, and it's kind of like sticky, chewy, kind of strange, and then some noodles, and it's in like some kind of real thin broth, and then some pickled radish. They are really big on pickling their food over there. All kinds of vegetables get pickled, and they're served cold. It's kind of strange. I can eat that stuff, I don't have a problem with that, but it's just different. And then for dessert, it's really weird. Like I think the United States in the 1980s was huge on Jello dishes, but I don't think so much anymore. But over there, like this is like a really nice restaurant, and they serve like this is the second time I've had Jello at dinner. This is coffee Jello for dessert with some little green tea to go with it. And it was nice, it was refreshing. It was good. It's something different, but it's just really, really different than, anything we eat over here in the United States. I don't know why I've got a picture in my room again. This is I think this is a different hotel. Similar setup, similar toilet. Oh yeah, look at this bathroom. So you can shower outside of the tub, and they've got like this drain in the floor right here, and it's like a little chamber. They got a door here to close to keep all the water inside, but it's like I don't know. There's a tub, and you just shower on the floor. It's kind of strange. This is actually in where am I here? This is in Kyoto. Okay, I think this is in Kyoto. No, this is still Nagoya. This is still Nagoya. These are the controls to the toilet. So it looks like an old VCR or a CD player or something. Okay, you got stop, you got the rear, and I love the spray function for the rear. Actually looks like a butt, which I think is kind of funny. Or a rear soft. It's just like a little flower on your butt. They got a front, and they always got like a picture of a woman when it's for the front. And then here you can increase the pressure. You can change the position, left, right, front, back, whatever. And then they got like a light flush, echo flush, oscillate. I don't know what oscillate is. I didn't try that. I don't know. This is on the Shinkansen. We're going a little slow here because we're going past let's see here. But there you can see Mount Fuji. Kind of get a feel for how close you are on the tracks. Oh, this is a blurry picture. Sorry, but this is breakfast. What I was trying to show is at breakfast, they've got like fish, salad, stuff that we would, I guess in Europe, I've seen stuff like that for breakfast, meats, cheeses, salads. Japan was similar. But they also had like, seaweed and rice and stuff like that. But they also usually had like a little yogurt or something like that because they know they've got people from the US and stuff coming. Just another picture of the Shinkansen and Mount Fuji. I loved seeing Mount Fuji and taking pictures. It was just really, really incredible. And you know what? You can climb Mount Fuji. And I've got a friend in Japan. I told him if I ever come back to Japan, he said, if you come back, let me know. And I'm taking a couple of days vacation, and we're going to run around together. And I said, okay, but if I do that, I want to climb Mount Fuji. I think I don't know. I think they say it only takes like a day. So it must not be too, like they must take you up like so far up the mountain and then just like turn you loose. And I think you got to start early in the morning so you can get up there. And then I think you can make it back down. I don't think you got to spend the night up there, but I think that would be quite an amazing thing. I've climbed, I've been up Mount Rainier, but not to the top. But when I was in Pompeii, my wife and I climbed Mount Vesuvius and looked down in the what do you call it? The caldera or whatever, the hole in the top, the volcano. That was pretty incredible. I think it'd be awesome to do the same thing here on Mount Fuji. Now check this out. This is a window cleaner. They're so like worried about everything being clean. This is I think this is back in Tokyo. This guy is cleaning these windows, and he's so worried about his health that he's got his mask on Okay. This is before COVID. He's got his mask on. But do you see the problem? He's 3 stories up. I didn't take a picture. This is on the 3rd story, and the dude is just barely standing on the window ledge. He's got no rope. He's got nothing, but he's got his mask on, so he's safe. Okay, that cracked me up. I was like scared when I was watching. I was like, this dude might fall and go splat. This is the train station in Tokyo. It's like a giant shopping mall underground, and there's a similar one in Kyoto. Let me get a drink here. Let me know if you're watching, guys, or if you got any questions. Let me make a little pause here and tell you a little bit more about the people and the culture. Okay, let me click back to this here for a minute. All right. So I'm really impressed by the Japanese culture. In the United States, we see so many problems. I mean, I guess a lot of the world does. I can't speak for all the problems that they see in Europe and stuff because I'm not close enough with people who live there. I haven't lived there, but we have so many problems in the United States with our youth, with disillusionment, with people respecting people, and just honoring their elders, and people just having purpose, people having a work ethic, all this kind of stuff. And I grew up with my grandparents' generation was the one that fought World War II, and so these were their enemies, and for good reason. And I can't fault anybody from that generation for not liking Japanese people or anything like that. And of course, I'm not painting with a broad brush and just saying everybody didn't like Japanese, but I kind of grew up, with just hearing all of that and understanding all of that, what they did at Pearl Harbor and the brutality of, like the Bataan Death March and things like that. There are atrocities in war that are horrible, and people have done horrible things. Okay, I'm not trying to excuse or forget about any of that, but these people that I know from work, they are just like me. They are trying to make a living to take care of their wife and their kids and to try to raise their kids right, and they want a bright future for them. And they didn't know anything about the United States or Pearl Harbor or what's going on. If you were a Japanese person living in Tokyo, you only knew what the emperor and what the government and what the news agencies tell you. And if we've got the internet today, we're so spoiled, we can find out just about anything at any time. But just imagine being back then and just being told whatever you're told. You have to defend your country. There's people coming, they're going to invade, they're going to take over, and you got to fight for your family. I mean, any one of us would have got on a battleship or went to fight for an island or something like that. Again, I'm not excusing the atrocities that happened, and there's plenty of atrocities to go around, not just from the Japanese, but there's blood on a lot of people's hands. But I'm just saying, there's no reason to hold that against these people today. They are. I've worked with a lot of Japanese. I've gotten to know a lot of them, and they all are very friendly, respectful, and like I said, they're like me, they're like you, and just trying to have a good life. Thank you, European Beauty. I appreciate it, buddy. He says it's great. Thank you. But I started off talking about the problems with the United States. We almost have no culture now in the United States. Like, what do we stand for? The thing that unites us is we are consumers. Like, we are always trying to think, even I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, and he pointed out, even with churches, we're not like, oh, I live in this town, so this is going to be my church. We're like, I'm going to shop around and find the church that's right for me, the church that I like the best, it makes me most comfortable, that I like the music the best, I like the jokes of the pastor the best. Like, that's so much of how Americans are. It's like we have to shop for the best deal for everything. But outside of that, like what do we hold dear? I guess like liberty, and like you take that to an extremity and you see some of the crazy stuff that people are trying to do with their freedoms now. Like I don't even want to get into all that, but I'm just saying our culture seems so depraved. And then I go to Japan, and there is so much respect, so much honor, so much like worry about um, holding up your family name, honoring your parents, your grandparents, and not just your parents, your grandparents, your seniors at work. If your boss tells you to do something, you're going to do it. And you're not going to be like, oh, I'm not coming in today. Like they show up for work, they take their job serious. And if they get fired from their job or whatever, they're like dishonored by their family. And I know you can take that too far. I know that, there can be suicides and problems like that. Sure. But I'm just saying, like, they have this whole level of like, as an individual, I need to honor, I need to be respectful, and like uphold my name for my family and just for my whole community. I have to do my part, and we are like seriously lacking that in the United States. So when I went to Japan and saw all this, I just really was impressed. Like I said, with the title of the show, I felt like an alien in another world. I'll say one last thing. One last thing about the culture, and then I'm going to get back to some of these pictures. These Japanese that I work with, we also have part of our business is down in Mexico. So a lot of these guys go down to Mexico, and I've been to Mexico for work a few times too. Okay, and I love Mexico. I love the Mexican people. But if you've ever been there, it's just a different standard than the United States. Their building codes, the cleanliness of things. It's still like a developing country, and there's just a lot of differences that you see. Okay, and so I always felt like the United States was like had such an advantage over Mexico. Like, oh, we have such higher standards or something like that. I go to Japan and I'm just blown away. And at dinner, the Japanese asked me like, "So, David-san, what do you think of Japan?" And I was like, "Man," and I told him, I was like, Mexico. I always thought, I thought that the United States was here, and like the standards for Mexico are like down here. I said, but now that I've been to Japan, I think the United States and Mexico are like here, and Japan is like, like so far superior. And they all just died laughing because they knew it was true. They were already thinking that, like here I come, like, oh, the United States is just the best. Like I grew up in the 80s, and you kind of have that mentality of like, my country's the best. And that's good for everybody to think that. And I love the United States, but, kind of like you have the superiority complex, and then you go there and you're like, wow, you guys have taken it to a whole nother level. And it was just funny because they recognized it, and they got a kick out of that. That I was seeing it too. All right. So this is a shopping mall. This is at a, what do you call it? A ramen bar. This is kind of cool. You go and you like put your coins in a little a machine, and you like push buttons, and it spits out a ticket for what you want, and then you give your ticket to the person at the counter, and then they give you this. So these are I think they're called gyoza. These are like little dumplings. These are super good. They're like pork dumplings, and then ramen, and you can see it's got like the pork in it and the noodles. And this is what I didn't like. This is a fish cake. I'm not big on fish, so it's like a little fish cake. But yeah, we got the beer and everything there. It was awesome to sit there and have this authentic food. Another hotel room. You can see there's just barely any room for the bed. Got the pajamas again. This time with the little paper cranes on the pajamas. I thought that was a cool touch. Yeah, check out this bathroom. So like the sink is combined with the shower, and like, look, this is like, it looks like some kind of transformer, and they've always got these like little instructions all over everything. And you can see, like, again, there's a drain on the floor that like goes back into the bathtub, and it's like a little kit bathroom. It's probably, I'm probably boring you talking about bathrooms, but that stuff, I don't know, fascinated me. So my last day in Tokyo, this is my first trip. I had a free day, and I walked to the Emperor's Palace. And so this is at the Emperor's Palace. This is in December, and just look how beautiful these trees are. I think this is a Japanese maple, and look at these old walls. These are just it was so beautiful walking around. Even in winter, like the colors are all muted, but there's still so much color. This was some kind of concert hall. I think it was built like maybe the 1960s or something. It's kind of got that vibe going on, and it just looked, different than what I see over here. But yeah, you can kind of see the grass here. European Beauty. I still had some hair. You can see it's trying to make its last stand, but it's fading. But yeah, look at the. I don't know. I just love that kind of winter landscape out there. Is really beautiful. This is just walking, beautiful, clean streets. This is still at the Emperor's Palace. This is the moat at the Emperor's Palace. I love these walls. You'll see these at any Japanese castle, like Hiroshima Castle, any of these. You'll see these kind of sloped rock walls, these great big boulders, usually with a moat like this. It's pretty cool. They had these places where people would park bikes, and I'm not kidding you, a lot of these bikes were not locked. And I asked my buddy at work, he's like, you don't have to worry about somebody stealing it. And he said, in Japan, their little kids, that are in kindergarten will get on the metro or the subway by themselves, and they'll make train switches to go to school by themselves. And they said, the kids are safe. If a kid gets turned around or gets lost, somebody will help them to get on the right train. And like the kids aren't worried or scared. They know that everybody's going to help them. It's just like a totally different mentality than like you would never do that in New York City or Philadelphia or any place like that. I mean, it's so different. I'm not saying that they never have crime. Of course, any community is going to have some crime, but the level is so much lower, and just the mentality of everybody of kind of like, I owe it to my community to be that guy, to be the good guy. There's actually a show called, what's it called? It'll come to me. It's on Netflix, but it's about where these little kids in Japan, they will get like an assignment from their parent to go to the store by themselves, and it'll be, a quarter mile away or half a mile. And the mom will tell the kid, I want you to buy these 3 things. And maybe they got to go to 2 different stores, and they will send the kid out. And the kid, it's like a coming of age, this journey for this kid. And they'll come home, and they have to ask, random strangers along the way for help. Where is this food in the store? I'm looking for this place. And like the people help them. And like these people document this and then made a show out of it. It's pretty cute, but it's so amazing. And I talked to my friends at work, and they said, yep, we all had our little mission when we were little. Just totally different than the United States. Check out this trash truck. I could not believe it. This is a working trash truck. Look how gorgeous. Look how clean. Look at the chrome. Look at the tires and the wheels. I mean, these people take pride in everything, and they keep it clean. I mean, just look at that. This is like one of my favorite pictures from my trip. I'm just blown away. This is a pristine trash truck. And, in the United States, our trash trucks, they stink to high heaven. You can't even get near them. And there's just splatters and stains and mud and God only knows what, just dripping all off of them. They're disgusting. But in Japan, wow, it was just incredible. This is a train station in Tokyo. This is back at the Emperor's Palace. Look at these architectural details. I love these. These are like typhoons here. And this here is a chrysanthemum, which is the symbol of the emperor. So if you ever see that flower, that's imperial. Just like a loon or some kind of bird. Look at these beautiful lamps. Architect Older always says, what does he say? You can tell how people feel about a place or what they think about a place by their lamp posts. So look how beautiful these are. I love that shot. Still in Japanese maple. Trying to get through some of these. This is a ginkgo. Is it ginkgo biloba tree? I think those are pretty cool. I love this picture. I like to do outdoor photography and stuff. I thought this is kind of a cool picture. The yellow with the blue green in the background, kind of cool. Now in Japan, they don't have a whole lot. They don't have big houses. They don't have 3-car garages. They live in very small quarters, and so they can't own a whole lot of things. So what they do a lot of times is buy really expensive things like this fruit, and it's kind of like a status symbol thing. So these apples, I hope I'm going to get this right. So this is 1,000 yen, and I believe that would be about $10. Okay, so it's like $10 for an apple. But they'll do that with strawberries or watermelon or whatever. Like they'll get these like beautiful, pristine, and then they'll sell them like really expensive. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Okay, so this is like a little snack thing in the train station in the mall. These are potato chips. Okay, and you can get them with chocolate with soft ice cream on the potato chips. Okay, I thought that was a strange combination. I wasn't hungry at the time, so I didn't try it. But I mean, you can imagine what that would taste like. This is walking through. This is still in Tokyo. This is Ginza. It's called Ginza. It's a kind of like a posh. It's almost like if you're in New York City, like 5th, 6th Avenue up there by like Tiffany's and Trump Tower or St. Patrick's. It's kind of like that area, Saks Fifth Avenue. So this is a Nissan prototype car, supercar. And then there's like this here is at a Sony. Sony has like a I don't know what you'd call it. It's almost like a little public access outlet place where they show new technologies and stuff. This was like virtual reality, and you could do like a maze and stuff. This is some lady that was working there having fun with me. But yeah, this is just kind of a picture of the outside. And then I can't remember what these are called, but these are like everywhere. Like when I was a kid, you'd go to the grocery store and they would, at the end, you'd put in a quarter and you'd turn it and you get the little bubble with some kind of crappy little toy, like a little slappy hand or, a little thing, a little rubber half sphere, you turn it inside out and then it pops, or something like that, or a little keychain. They have all these, and they got Hello Kitty, and they got Star Wars, and they got, anything you can think of. But look how many of them there are. There's like, and these were all over. It's kind of interesting. And then this is just whatever, flying home. I did take home. Everybody's familiar with. Let me see if I'm going to spell his name wrong. That's how you pronounce it. Okay. Hokusai. Great Wave. Oh, that's what I'm trying to get right there. Okay. Everybody's familiar with this. This artist, his name is, it looks like Hokusai, but it's just pronounced Hokusai, like a bird hawk, and it's Hokusai. Okay. So he did a series of prints, and you can see, let me zoom in here. You see in the background, that's Mount Fuji. Oh, why'd that get small? You see Mount Fuji right here? So every single one of these prints, I can't remember, he did 30 or 40. Every single one features Mount Fuji. And so I wanted to bring home, I always like to bring home some sort of, keepsake for my trip. So I went to this print shop, and they had like prints from like the 1700s, like originals. This is a modern reproduction, but it's done in the original style where they actually make the wood block and put on the ink and press it into the paper. So this is a reproduction Hokusai print from that same series. You can see Mount Fuji there, and these people are making tea. you can see like the guy's like pulling the horse, and the horse has stuff, and these people have baskets of tea leaves, and yeah, these are all tea leaves right here. So this is like processing tea leaves, and then there's Mount Fuji in the background again, and this is like kind of like a family scene where these people are having a picnic, and this is I can't remember the name, but it's like a like an evergreen bush, the trees and stuff, the shrubbery that you see over there. So, and here's like a little path. So I like this kind of like a little family scene. So these hung in my office for a long time at work. I don't know what this is. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I know I'm just kind of rambling here and showing you my pictures. I'd love to hear from you if you have any questions. Because that was my first trip. That was the end of my first trip. My second trip, I've got some really interesting. You're not going to believe what I'm about to eat. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to eat, and if you're squeamish, you might not like it. Don't get mad at me. All right, but I'm going to show you. Hold on, let me get a drink. All right, you guys probably recognize this. So okay, here let me set this up a little bit. All right, this is in January into February of 2020, right before COVID got huge. And I traveled the most away from home that like previous month than I ever have. I went to Los Angeles for a week for work. Okay. I come home and I was home for one day, just long enough to like wash my clothes and stuff. And then my youngest daughter and I went on a Disney cruise with my mother and my brother and my sister and their families and stuff. My wife did not go, and my oldest daughter didn't go. They couldn't because my oldest daughter, with her school and stuff, she couldn't do it. So I only see my wife for one day, and I had been gone a week. I see her one day. I go on this cruise for a week. I come home, and I only have one day at home before I'm going to go to Japan. And this guy from work was supposed to go with me, and he had made all of the arrangements. I had already been to Japan, so I was like, "Look, dude, we were going to take vacation after our business and just go see the country." I was like, "Whatever you want to see, you plan it, and we'll just go do it." So he made all the plans, all the arrangements. He had it all printed, and the day I'm about to leave, he calls me and he says, "I'm not going." And I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" And he says, "I'm worried. There's this thing called COVID in China, and all these people from China are going to be going on holiday to Japan. And so I'm scared I'm going to get it. So I'm not going." And I was like, I don't know. I was like freaking out, but I mean, I had to go for business for what I was doing. So I flew solo to Japan. I wanted somebody from my company to meet me in Tokyo because I had to go 2 hours from Tokyo. And I was like, I want somebody to meet me there, go with me, get me to where I'm supposed to be going. They didn't send anybody. They had somebody at the airport that just kind of like pointed me to like, "Oh, go get on a bus over there and just take it till the end of the line." So I did that, and it was like super nerve wracking. Okay. And I've been away from home now for 3 weeks. I'd only seen my wife, 2 days out of the 3 weeks. And then I get to Japan, and the guy, when I finally meet him, he's like, "Let's get some dinner." And so we go to the restaurant at my hotel, and he orders a bunch of stuff. Okay. And this is sashimi again. This is red snapper. I'm not showing. Let me share. So this is red snapper right here. Okay. This is tuna again. No, and what is this? I can't remember. Maybe this is red snapper. I can't remember which is which. It's fish. All right. This is tuna. The tuna's good. Here's some wasabi. Then they bring out this. They set this down in front of me. This is completely raw steak. And he says, Davidson, this is horse sashimi. So this is raw horse. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I didn't say this to him, but I'm thinking like, "You're serving me Mr. Ed raw?" Like, I don't know. Am I going to get worms? Like, why am I eating a horse Like, look at that. That is, but my guest ordered it for, or my host ordered it for me. It was like a delicacy. He wanted me. He was trying to treat me and like show me his culture. So I said, "Thank you very much." I grabbed my chopsticks. I dipped it in the soy sauce and down the hatch. And I got to tell you, it was really good. It was like it tasted like beef, and it tasted like a really, really rare steak. Obviously, it was really rare. But like if you've had like a really good, I don't even want to say filet mignon because a lot of times filet mignon doesn't have flavor. It had like flavor like a sirloin or something, but it had the texture of like a filet mignon. So I've eaten horse. Okay, if you're a horse person, uh, it wasn't my choice. I wouldn't like voluntarily order it, but I ate it. Okay, it was an experience. This is like, look at this. They serve like raw egg over there. Okay, a lot of dishes have raw egg. This was, I think this is bonito fish. It looks like steak. I don't think this was steak. I think this is fish, like smoked. And then this is gyoza. These are dumplings. These are really good. Um, chicken wings, like some of the stuff you would see like, oh yeah, I know chicken wings, but even this chicken wings, it still was like not like we would have over here. They were like room temperature, and they were like rubbed with like lemon or something. It was like lemon seasoning or something, lemon herb. Let's see. European Beauty says, "Congratulations, Matt. I think I think if I went, I would eat at McDonald's." Ha ha ha. But the rest was very cool. Yeah, yeah. I try to eat the local stuff to get a feel for it, but I also do like to try McDonald's if I'm traveling and I'm eating a lot of food out. It's fun to try like McDonald's, try the local food just to see, is this the same McDonald's as what I have back home? Again, the bathrooms, I've already shown you that. They are like super big over there on coffee and like canned coffee. So they have all these vending machines that will just have like coffee drinks. A lot different than what I'm used to, but it's all pretty good. This is some more ramen, just from like a convenience store. Okay, this is at a business dinner. This thing was like, I don't know what it is, and nobody could tell me what it is, but it was like cold, okay, and it had the consistency. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be gross. It had the consistency of like mucus, okay. So it was like cold mucus with some seaweed in it, and the bottom part was kind of like a custard or something, but it was the whole thing was salty. Maybe they were playing a joke on me and they did just put a bunch of mucus in a bowl and give it to me or whatever, but everybody was eating it. I ate it. I don't know what it was. This here was actually really good. They do these like I don't know what you call it. It's not quite hard boiled. I don't know if it's soft boiled. I'm not like an egg guy either. But these are also like smoked. You can kind of see how they're like pink on the outside or reddish. They like smoke them, and then they serve them with this pork, like pork belly, and it's mostly fat, but it's like super flavorful, super soft, and it's like smoked. They love like smoked meats over there. So this was, I was like happy, like after having a horse, after like seeing some of the fish and sea urchin and stuff like that. Like when they bring this out, I'm like, yeah, that looks really good. So I enjoyed that. Again, this is these fish flakes I told you about earlier. You'll see these on a lot. This is like dried smoked fish, and then they like grate it, and they serve it on salads. They serve it as garnish. And again, the okra, I've told you, they serve okra everywhere. And if you've never had okra, it's weird. It's kind of like I don't know if it tastes like green beans. I'm trying to think how to. You tell me what you think okra tastes like. But the thing I always remember about okra is it has like a slime to it. It's almost like it's kind of like snotty. It's kind of strange. I'm not trying to make this sound disgusting, but okra has like a sliminess to it. If you've ever had cactus, I've had cactus down in Mexico. What do they call it? Nopales, nopalito. Um, it tastes like a green bean, and it's got like a slime inside too. That's kind of how okra is. And these are like some root vegetables or something. This was really good. This was just actual beef. Like sometimes I like bring out something and I'm like, hey, I know what this is. And there are these little white mushrooms I showed you earlier. They serve those with everything. Some more of that little fish flake. This was good. I don't know what half this stuff is. I'm trying to describe it to you. This was a cream cheese block that was like room temperature, so super soft. And then they like rolled it in. It's not like Cheeto crumbles, but it was almost like it was like kind of like breadcrumbs, but kind of like cheesy breadcrumbs. It kind of reminded me of like Cheetos. So that it was pretty good. It was rich. This was pumpkin tofu, so it wasn't super flavorful, but I liked it better than regular tofu. This was can't remember what all was in here. Some kind of, I don't know if it was radish or something. And I don't know, half this stuff I didn't know. And my the people that were at dinner with me, one guy didn't speak English at all. One lady kind of spoke English, and the other guy, he kind of did, but a lot of this stuff you just don't have like English translations for it. The food is so hard to say what it is. This thing here I struggled with. All right, I was embarrassed about this one. We were in this tiny little, I don't know if I got a picture of this room. Nah, later on I do. But it's like a little igloo thing. We're sitting in this little booth, and I'm still like super jet lagged. Okay, this is like my first night there, or second night there. I was super jet lagged, and I caught like a cold or something on the plane. I think I might have had a fever. I wasn't feeling good. I was homesick. I hadn't been home for all this time, and I'm at dinner, and they're bringing me all this weird food, and they bring this out, and this thing was steaming. It was like a sauna of this like steam coming up, and it was like the most pungent fish smell I've ever smelled in my life. And I was like, what is this? The guy said sea urchin, but I don't think it's sea urchin. I tried to translate it. I don't know what it is, but you can see like the spines or something on here. Maybe it's like starfish or something. I don't know. So I tried to be good. I took the bowl they gave me. I was eating the rice. I was trying to eat a little bit of this, and I was drinking the broth and stuff. But they could tell that I was not feeling good and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, David, son, it's okay. You've had a lot to eat. You don't have to eat this or whatever." But I did my best. But that one was tough. That one was tough. So at work, this is just like we have like 7-Eleven here. They have, I think it's called Food Mart over there. They're like all over the place. It's crazy. And yeah, in English, Food Mart or Family Mart. I think it's called Family Mart. Let me see. I think it says, yeah, Family Mart. But like, look at this. They got a little strawberry cream sandwich for dessert, and this is some what do you call it? Curry, like I showed you earlier. So that was pretty good. You guys, can you tell that I got a fat man living inside me? Like everything I'm showing you are like just pictures of food and stuff, but this is just what impressed me. Okay, so European beauty. You were talking about McDonald's, and here I'm showing you Japanese delicatessen. Yeah. So here is McDonald's. Okay. So like I told you, I was not feeling good. I was super homesick. I had been abandoned by my work buddy. So I'm like still stressed out because I've got like 4 days I was at work, and then I've got like almost a week of vacation planned, and I'm like, I don't know, like I'm going to be doing all this by myself, traveling around the country. So I was kind of stressed out about it. So I went walking, and there was a McDonald's, and so I went in and I got a double cheeseburger and French fries, and I don't know if I got. Oh yeah, here it is. Man, it was good. All right, it was. Sometimes you just need that crappy McDonald's meal that you have back home. I love to like just to compare. It was really really similar to what we have here, but you can see like the portions are smaller. Like the French fry was smaller, the drink even was smaller, but it really hit the spot. And it was not sea urchin. It was double cheeseburger, which was pretty good. Yeah, yeah. There you go, European beauty. If you and I ever travel, we'll hit up a McDonald's somewhere, okay, just to try it, okay. So this is again these I don't know what you call them, but you can see they got the little I don't know what these things are, Pokemon or whatever. All these little things. They got little cars and motorcycles and frogs and I think that's Pokemon there. So I had to get a couple of these for my girls, bring back home. Just walking through the store, a lot of these shoes you see, like New Balance and Puma and stuff. That's we have all this stuff over here. Look at this. This is in like a store. Like, so you can see they got cigarettes and stuff back here. This is like a convenient mart. But look at these. I don't know what you call these. They're like dumplings or something like that. But look how beautiful. It's got like that spiral like twist of the dough. You can see they got like meat inside. So you see these kind of all over the place. And like again, tempura. They've got tempura everything over there. And even some corn dogs and stuff. And look, like chicken, barbecue chicken and stuff, shish kebabs. I got the curry again, and this is some kind of strawberry thing. I don't know. It was pretty good. This is dinner again. Look, they gave me the little snot soup bowl again. Okay, but I had a beer to wash it down, so that's okay. Some salad, tempura. I think this is like a potato cake. They love to fry stuff, and I do like the breading that they put on their food. It's like real flaky, almost like, I don't think it's the same as panko, but it's similar to that. It's different than what we use in the United States, but it's good. This was like a beef stew kind of thing. So this is pretty similar, something I was used to. I think this was pork. Again, okra. They put okra on everything. And some sake. We had some sake. It was really good. We were having a nice time. Here I am with my work colleagues. It was a lot of fun. Some more steak. Boy, I'm a fatso. Everything I've got here are pictures of just food. This is some kind of egg cake. This is some sort of I don't know, potato or rice cake with, again, the dried fish flakes. And this was some kind of, I can't remember what this was. It was like a root vegetable or something, and it's got the fish flakes on top. They put those things on everything. These are this is called soba noodles, and these are made out of buckwheat. So they definitely taste different. And this actually did taste like Cheetos. It was like they crushed up Cheetos and put it on soba and put some scallions or something on them. This was actually really good. But this was served cold. So that was kind of different to me. So when I came home, I actually found soba at the store and tried to recreate this dish for my family. It was pretty good. All right, so now I'm done with work. Okay, and I'm gonna just go on vacation. But a friend of mine at work is a big Harley guy, and he's like, "Oh man, if you can get me a Harley shirt, please get me a Harley shirt from Tokyo, please, please, please." So there was a Harley place. I don't know, a couple miles from my hotel. So when I got done, I walked over there. But this is just walking through a neighborhood, just like how beautiful this is. Like, this house could almost be like from the early 1900s, 1920 or something in the United States. The house isn't all that different, but I just love, like, look at the greenery. I don't know what kind of pine tree this is, but it's just beautiful. And I love the way that they do their shingles. A lot of the houses and places have this. It's just really beautiful, I think, architectural details. Hey, folks, if you're watching and you haven't said hello, drop me a line. Just get in the live chat and say hi. Let me know. Let me know if you got any questions. I don't just want to ramble on all night. I would really love to answer any question that you've got. I'm talking about food here because I've got a secret fat man inside of me that's just dying to get out. But I would love to hear what you're interested in and try to answer anything I can. But I'm on my way to a Harley dealership, and look, here it is. They actually do have these Harleys over there, and they do have quite a markup from the U.S. because they got to get them over there, But they did not. Here's what's funny. My friend wanted like a XXX or something shirt, okay? And I don't know if you've seen the people of Japan. there are not too many triple X people. They're they were like, oh, well, what size do you need? And I was like, looking through the shirt rack. I was like, small, medium, small, small, medium. And I was like, do you guys got any double extra large, triple extra large? And they're like, oh, like, no, we've never heard of that size over here. So I went home without a t-shirt for my friend. Just the hotel room. Again, this is one of these bathrooms where like you can shower right on the floor. You see that? Here's the shower wand, and the controls are here. And you use this if you want to stand in the shower, or you can just stand on the floor and do it. It's really strange bathroom setup. This is in Kyoto now. Okay, I've moved on to Kyoto. And look at the little sink in the bathroom. This has actually surprised me that this hotel had a double bed. This is actually a pretty big room. But I went. I was going to go on this tour in Kyoto, and it was like right next door to this hotel. Okay, so oh look, I got another cheeseburger. That's for you, European beauty. European beauty, you sent me a message, but it's not translated, so I cannot read that. If you can translate that for me and send it to me again, I'll understand what you're asking. Oh, okay. Now, some of these pictures are out of order, but this is okay. Here he goes. He says, after a soccer match during the World Cup, when I was leaving the stadium, I saw several Japanese citizens collecting garbage that had been left by several other people. I thought it was amazing. Wow. Yeah, that is incredible. I can't imagine picking up trash at a soccer match, that's somebody else's, just to do it. That's pretty amazing. That's a testament right there to how they feel about tidiness and respectfulness, and that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, European beauty. That's a great story. This is called Nishi Market. This is in Kyoto, and this place, man, I can't remember if it's 500 years old, 600 years old, 900 years old, or maybe it's from like 900 AD or something like that. It's a super old market. So I walked through here at night. Again, I'm by myself. Nobody's traveling with me. Look at this. They got these little octopus lollipops. Look at that. I did not have an octopus lollipop. If somebody had like bought one for me and expected me to eat it, I would have. I almost wish somebody would have done that, so I would have kind of had to. But look at that. They're just like laying here. Look at their tentacles. I know some people eat it. I know Italy, they eat this kind of stuff, octopus. I mean, I've been to dinner in Italy with people that are eating it, but it was foreign to me. Look at these. It says Narazuke. I think it's just, oh yeah, right here, large cucumber or gourd. But look at these. They are like coated in some kind of goo. I have no idea what it is. In some kind of goo. Oh, it says no photography. Whoops, I didn't see that. But like, I don't know if you're just supposed to eat this like a pickle, like I'm walking through the market eating this slimy cucumber, or if you're supposed to like take it home and cook it. But it's just really weird because like everybody's walking by and you could like cough on it, and it's got this goo and stuff that's just gonna like grab anything that gets on it. It's kind of strange. All right. This is one of my favorite parts of the trip. This is called Fushimi Inari. And what it is I think the mountain is called Fushimi. It's a mountain, and it's got just thousands and thousands of these red gates. These are supposed to be like gates to the afterlife. And so this is, it's like a Shinto site, and they've got all these, there's like a temple when you first get there. and then you can go through these gates, and all the way up the mountain, there's different spots where there's little temples. And I don't think that there's like I don't think it's a cemetery. I don't think there's any remains of people there, but I think that you can go there and like I think there's like we call them like shrines or little idols or something for families, for people that you can go and like leave offerings and stuff to. People would go, but I was there at nighttime and by myself. And first along the way, there were people. Like here's this lady in a kimono. People were doing pictures and stuff like this. This is me. I was, like I said, I was sick at the time, and at work they gave me some masks to take with me because they were talking about this strange new thing called COVID that was supposedly coming around, and I was already sick, so they're like, "Here, just take some of these masks." So I had one on here at this point, but everybody was really nice. This lady did a picture with me. I'm continuing on up the mountain, and as I was going, there was just like less and less people until there was just like nobody around. This is one of these little shrines that you see, and they got these. I think these are supposed to be foxes, and they're probably only you can't see on the camera, but I don't know, they're about this tall, and I think I've got some pictures of others, but it was kind of eerie and creepy. Here I am walking, and every now and then you see some other people, but you can see it got quite dark. And let me skip ahead a little bit here. You hear all of these sounds, and like I said, it's on a mountain, so there's like woods on either side, and you would hear these ravens calling, and the ravens sound different than what they do in the United States. They have like a deeper. They're like ha ha ha. It's like a I don't know. It sounded creepy. It sounded like a tired raven, and it sounded like an old like witch raven. It was just kind of creepy. It was eerie. Okay, you're walking. You saw those like little you got these like angry little fox things at these little temples. It's dark. I'm hearing like rustling in the leaves. I'm hearing these ravens calling. I'm not feeling good. I'm by myself. I was like sick, but I was like, I'm here. I'm going to see this place. Okay. So here I am walking, blah, 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 talking. Okay. I made it to the top of Mount Inari. Okay. So that's what the mountain's called. The mountain's called Inari, Fushimi Inari. I made it to the top. I was proud of myself. This is like the temple up at the top. This is looking out over Kyoto from the top. This is what freaked me out, okay? I told you about the ravens. There were these signs everywhere. Look at this. Danger. Stay away from the monkeys. Don't take their pictures. And they got this monkey with fangs, and he's looking at you like he's screaming, like he's ready to rip your face off. And read this. It says, aggressive families of monkeys live in this area. Because the monkeys attack and bite, do not go near them or take pictures. All right. So I'm walking by myself at night. It's dark. I hear all this rustling in the leaves, and I'm like, gosh, a freaking monkey is going to jump out and rip my freaking face off. I'm trying to see if I had any other. No, I don't think. Okay. I didn't include it in here. But in addition to the monkeys that are ready to rip your face off, there were all these signs also that said wild aggressive boars in this area, like wild pigs. And it was like, beware, boars attack. And so like you're walking and you hear all this rustling, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to die on Mount Inari, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I told you that the TV is like really hard to watch in Japan for me. Okay, I'm going to put on the audio and just let this play. Okay, let's see. There's actually a cooking show there. I was a little homesick at the time. Yeah, that was all of them. I'm back to where I started. It was like some like Kiss tribute band or something here, but it was so strange how everything was like like these weird talking heads and like people doing ridiculous things, and the people would have like these really fake voices, like laughing at them and stuff. It was really strange. It's like this, like when there is a show like that on in the U.S., there's like no way in hell I'm gonna watch it. I'm like, "Well, who watches this stuff?" And then over there, it's like every channel is like that. I did see Haagen Dazs at a thing, so I got a, strawberry truffle Haagen Dazs ice cream bar. That was pretty good. That hit the spot. Oh, okay. So European Beauty says there's no audio. Only the sound comes out of your microphone. Okay. So that's okay. What I was basically saying, I don't know why the sound's not coming through here. Let me see if I can do something. No, I don't think I can get the sound. But all that I was basically saying was every TV channel was about the same. Like they all have these talking heads you can see on the screen here, and like each channel you can see there's like these talking heads on each side of the screen, and there's people just doing like really obnoxious activities, like eating weird food, like a bunch of it, and there's just like such giant graphics on the screen, and it's like this really loud, like obnoxious talking. It was it was like every channel was out, yeah, here's another channel. It's like every show was the exact same show, just different people. um, and then like the one cooking show that was on, it was like raw oysters, which I don't like seafood at all. So it was like I didn't want to watch that one. That was like kind of I wasn't feeling very good, and that was not making me feel any better. So the TV was something I did not enjoy in Japan. It was definitely something different. Um, this is breakfast, and look, this is like dried overnight, some kind of fish. This is dried mackerel. So like this is breakfast, and I know, like I said, in Europe and stuff, they serve fish and stuff sometimes for breakfast, but in the United States they don't. So this was a big culture shock. But I was able to find like some rice and I put some yogurt on it and like a little sausage. So they had orange juice, another Shinkansen. So I took the Shinkansen everywhere I went, and I think like taking the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Kyoto, I think was maybe like $120. Okay, and then I took it from Kyoto to, this is Hiroshima now, and again, look at this. This is in English. It's not Japanese characters. It's in English. I thought that was so interesting. That shows you how much English is a universal language and just permeated everywhere. Um, but I think the Shinkansen to Hiroshima from Kyoto was maybe $80, and I can't remember. It was less than 2 hours. I think Kyoto to Hiroshima. From Japan, from Tokyo to Kyoto, it's probably about 2 hour, I think, train ride. But look how beautiful this sewer cover is. Like this is like, we can make the mundane beautiful. Look at these beautiful Japanese maple leaves with a carp. See these carp swimming? It's just beautiful. I loved this manhole cover. And you gotta, when you're walking around on vacation, you gotta keep your eyes open to look down, look up. Just take your time. You'll see so many amazing things. All right, this was a difficult part of the trip, but I'm so glad I did it. I'm in Hiroshima, and I joined a tour group to see the sights from the bomb, and I'm like waiting at the location, and nobody shows up, and I'm like, man, am I in the right spot? Like, where is everybody? And then finally, this young lady walks up, and she's like, "Oh, are you here for the tour group?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, you're the only one." And I was like, ah, shoot, I was looking forward to it. I thought she was going to cancel. And she's like, no, 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 it's fine. I'll take you. We'll be able to see more stuff. This will be better. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I had a personal tour guide for like 3 or 4 hours in Hiroshima, and her English was wonderful. And she had like traveled to the United States and throughout Europe, and she was amazing. She's a local resident to Hiroshima. Her grandmother was in Hiroshima when the bomb dropped. Like, not everybody died, and like her family, like this has been their home for like generations and generations. And so it was so incredible to have a guide whose family was here through all of this, and to be able to just ask any question and get a local, real answer, from her perspective. I mean, when you have experiences like that, you can't put a price on it. I mean, you can't read a book. You can't watch a show. You can't have any kind of like passive media experience that's like this. To be able to see these locations in person with somebody this is their home and their history, and be able to be like, what is this from? How did this happen? What were you told? What were your grandparents told when all this was going on? And to hear, her honest answers. I'll try to tell you more as we're going through. But look at this. This is this picture of this bank, and you can see there's not much. There's not much standing around. This bank is very close to ground zero in Hiroshima, where the bomb went off, and it stayed standing because most of the buildings in Hiroshima at the time were made out of wood. Okay, so they very easily blew over when the bomb went off. The ones that were made out of concrete, a lot of those stood, which is actually pretty surprising to me. And this bank actually has some, I don't know what you would call it, like protective shutters. And for whatever reason, maybe it's just for like security, they close them at night or something. When this bomb went off, these shutters were closed, and it saved a lot of the interior of this building. So this is me standing on the steps of this bank. This is the bank that was in that building. Okay. Shoot, I don't think I got pictures of the inside. I've got I don't have pictures of the inside. I've got a thread that I did on X. If you go to my highlights tab and just scroll down, you'll see a thread on Hiroshima, and I show pictures and video inside this bank. And what's so amazing is we went upstairs to the bank manager's office. It's all original woodwork, and you see scratches and stuff on the woodwork from when the bomb went off, the protective shutters protected the inside, but they still like slammed, and the glass went flying, and the glass like scratched up the woodwork and everything. It's all still original. I was able to go up and touch it with my hands. It was incredible. She took me to this school. This is sad. There's this school where it was kind of like a place for wounded people and missing people, kids. And so families would come here. This is a photograph that they put on the wall, because at one point they like covered up the wall, but they had this photograph, and so they printed this photograph, put it on the wall to show what it looks like underneath the plaster. And then there's a little place right here, I think I might have a picture of it next, where they cut away the plaster so you could see the original writing. Let me see if I got the picture in here. No, I don't have the picture. In my thread on X, I've got close-ups of this, a video of it. But these are all people's names. Like if I was a parent and I'm looking for my daughter, I would go there and like write her name, like, I'm looking for my kid, like, please let me know if you find her. And then they like cross people off as they find them dead, or if they're found alive. Or I mean, it's really sad. And the guy that works at this school, this is like a little museum, they do field trips and stuff like this here. The guy that was here was he was in utero when the bomb went off in Hiroshima. So he survived. He had like a lot of like moles and stuff like growing all over his body, like tumors almost. I don't know if it was from the blast or what, but This is from inside the Hiroshima Museum. Some of the pictures and stories, it's hard to look at. Very, very hard. I asked, this is a shadow from where a person was sitting when the bomb went off. And like all of the concrete around the person got bleached white from the blast. And where the person was, they got vaporized, but they like prevented the rays from the blast from bleaching the concrete where they were sitting. So that's a shadow of a person. Pretty amazing. These are melted glass bottles. These are horrible burns. Look at this lady's kimono burned into her back. It's really hard. This is the Peace Memorial. I'm kind of going quickly here because I think I got 19 minutes left until I think the stream is gonna end. This is a this girl got cancer from the blast, and she like folded like thousands of cranes. You know, like I don't know, hoping that she would be healed, and as like a sign of peace. So the paper crane is a sign of peace now, and so this is here in her honor. She ended up dying from cancer. So school kids and everybody folds these cranes. This is the bomb dome. So this used to have a copper top, and the bomb blew up 100 meters in the air and went down like this and just vaporized the copper dome on top of here. I feel really bad about this picture. This lady was so nice, and I'm just like, if I meet anybody, if I'm doing a picture, I always just put my arm around them, and I should not have put my arm around this lady. She's a single lady here. Well, even if she was married, I shouldn't put my arm around her. But I was just like, hey, let's do a picture. And I think I made her really uncomfortable. I always feel bad when I see this picture. This is the bomb dome, though. This is all original, right at ground zero. We went up and had this like a lunch up on top of this building, and we were in this like little igloo thing. It was like cold outside. This is like January or the very beginning of February. It was cold outside. We were in this little heated igloo thing having lunch. See this? This is really cool. This is all included in this tour that I did, and the tour was like $60 or something. It was so cheap, and I was the only person. I couldn't believe it. And like we folded little paper cranes, and then they had this little slide you go down. Whatever. This is Hiroshima Castle. Okay. And inside, this is showing how they make samurai swords, katanas and stuff. So here's starting off with the ore. They show you how they make the billet, how they fold it and make the Damascus and everything, and then end up making the swords. And they had like original samurai swords, original samurai armor. You weren't supposed to take pictures, so I didn't really. This is more food. Surprise from the fat guy here. This is in Kyoto Station. These are called dorayaki, and it's like I would say it's like a pancake sandwich. So this guy, he'll put like a layer of like pancake batter, and then this is bean paste, red beans, but it's like sweet. So you'll see he'll like put this down, then they put a thing of sweet bean paste. Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's red, and then they like make a sandwich out of it. And they were like, it was like $1 for one of these. So I got like a red bean one, I got a white bean one. They were pretty scrummy, really good. Let's see. Oh, this is funny. Walking through Kyoto Mall, and this mall is gigantic. I spent hours in there lost. Like a friend of mine told me, like, oh, the best ramen place in Japan is in this mall. It's at this place. You got to go try it. So I'm not kidding. Like I had nothing to do in the evening. I was by myself. I walked around for like 2 hours trying to find this place. Like I never did find it. But everywhere you walk by, they've got like this fake food displays. These are like, I don't know. You see these all over in the malls in Japan. Like this is all like Italian food here: carbonara, pecorino, bolognese, and pizzas and stuff. It seemed odd that they had like this fakey looking like food displays. Check out this. This is a fountain, and I'm gonna skip ahead here. It'll say like let me see. It says, "Welcome to Tokyo." Here, I'm playing it too fast. But like, it's got hearts because it's Valentine's Day coming up. They're really big on Valentine's Day. Let me know, folks, if you got any questions. I'm happy to answer any kind of questions you got. Look at the tulips. Isn't that awesome? They got these tulips coming down, and let's see. Okay, but yeah, it was really cool. Welcome to Tokyo Station, and I thought it was really cool. All right, I did get some pizza when I was there. It was pretty good. This is like a little Italian pizza. This is in Kyoto. This is Nijo Castle. This is where the I'm going to get these confused. This is former imperial villa. I think that this was originally the shogun's castle. Okay, and this is so beautiful. Look at this architecture. It's so different than what we see in Europe. Of course, we don't have anything like this in the United States. Look at this carving. They got all these peacocks on here. Okay, the peacocks are like super special. Actually, this, and I'm trying to remember. I think that the emperor took over the shogun's castle, and that's why it's got these chrysanthemums on here. See these? That's I told you earlier. That's a sign of the emperor. These are the gardens out back. Just beautiful. I could not take any pictures inside, but like even when you walk inside the castle, there were paper walls like you've seen in like movies and stuff. They had the paper walls, and then the floorboards were designed so they would squeak when you walk on them, so that they could hear at nighttime. It was like an alarm system. You could hear if somebody was trying to sneak up on you. Again, this is like the typhoon and the chrysanthemum motifs, sign of the emperor. Look how beautiful this is. More, what do you call them? Peacocks. Just beautiful. Look at this. This is some kind of like god, or, you know, I don't know. Here's his eyes, here's his nose and his teeth. I think just the design elements are so cool. Look at these leaves. This is the Golden Temple. There was a shogun who was like really rich, and you know, he was Buddhist. And when he like retired from being shogun, then he was like, okay, I've got all this money. I'm almost dead. I want to do something nice. So I'm going to build this golden temple as kind of like giving back and my legacy or whatever. So this thing stood for hundreds of years, and this is real gold. And let's look how beautiful this is. But in like 1950, sometime around there, I think a Buddhist monk burnt the place down intentionally. And I can't remember why he said he did it. It was like because he said it was too beautiful or something like that, or it was some like ridiculous reason. He burnt the thing down. So this is a rebuild, recreated to exactly how the original was. But just look at the stuff on here. It's just absolutely incredible. This was one of my favorite spots in Kyoto. Just truly, truly beautiful. More food. This is a lychee. I'd never had a lychee. It was pretty good. Look at this. Kyoto is home to Nintendo. Thought that was pretty cool. And we're on our way to Nara, which this is like the largest wooden structure, I believe, in the world, the largest building. And it's burnt down, or parts of it have burnt down, because this was built in like 700 AD. It burnt down in like 900 and they rebuilt it, and it burnt down in maybe 1700 or something and they rebuilt it. But like, look, just so you kind of see how big this is. Like, look at these like golden horns up here. I think I got a picture of these. Like, hold on, I'm kind of showing you the inside first. Okay, we're like way out of order. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, right here. Here they are with like some pigeons or something up there. But let me go back. This is the Buddha. This is I think this is the biggest bronze Buddha in the world. You can kind of see some people here for scale, and this thing is from I think 700 AD, maybe 900 AD, but I think it's from 700 AD. Really incredible. And then they've got these like gods. These might even be like the cardinal directions or something to like protect. You've heard about the kneeling deer in Nara, and this is one of them. And they seriously do. They'll come up and they'll like bow to you like this, and you can give them food or whatever, and they'll like bow to you. It's really cool, and they're considered like divine. Like they think like I think that the spirits are in them or protect them or they represent them or something. So these are like protected and loved and cared after. This is all in Nara. This is just some ice cream. You know me and my food. This is going to some temple, something. This was like cool. You like put your hand in and win like a prize for like these stuffed animals. I had to do it for my daughter to like win one of these stuffed animals to take home. This is just in Kyoto Station. Check out this food. Here's like some green beans, another raw egg. This is called sukiyaki, and they give you like boiling water, and you've got this raw meat, and you kind of cook the food yourself and eat it. This is like the grand staircase in Kyoto Station, and like I said, it's. Let me speed this up a little bit because we're running out of time. It's coming up on Valentine's Day, so they got all this stuff about love. If you guys got any questions, let me know, because I'm going to have to end the show here in about 7 minutes, because I only set it for 2 hours, and we're almost at the end of that, so it's going to automatically just kick me out. This is the Imperial Palace in Kyoto. I went to the Emperor's Palace and I went to the Shogun's Palace, and I think that the Emperor at one point took over the Shogun's Palace. But that earlier one I was showing you was the Shogun's Palace. This is the Emperor's Palace. You can see all the chrysanthemums on here. I love the orange color. I think it's just really beautiful. That's the building with the Buddha again. There's the deer and people in their kimonos. This is headed back to Tokyo now. There's beautiful Mount Fuji. And like I said, if you're headed east back to Tokyo, you want to sit on the left side of the train, because you're on the north side. You'll be able to see Mount Fuji really good. So that's what I did here. Train station. This is at the subway station, and it's so clean. Like, can you imagine New York City? New York City is like so dirty and filthy. This is the bathroom cleanliness level in a subway. This is at Oshiage, which is Skytree is the English translation, and it is like the tallest tower in the world. Here it is. Okay. So that was like a little gift shop or something inside. So this is in Tokyo. They've got Oshiage Skytree, which is this, and then they've also got Tokyo Tower, which looks like the Eiffel Tower, but it's red and white. I did not go up Tokyo Tower. I went up Skytree. So there you can see the shadow. This is looking down. It's pretty amazing. And at the bottom of this, they had Colonel Sanders. So, like I said, I was pretty homesick at this point. So seeing the Colonel, it was kind of he was like a buddy that I ran into. I had to get my picture with him, and I got some kind of Hawaiian burger. It was really good. But okay, so this is Asakusa. This is in Tokyo, and this is like a little market area, like little booths and stuff outside. And everybody goes there. Like all these girls are in kimonos, and they're doing pictures and stuff. So I was trying to find keepsakes for my daughters to bring home. So I was like, looking for T-shirts and stuff. So I went there on my last day, walking around, making friends. Look at this beautiful pagoda. And I think in here they had one of these like hedgehog. Yeah, here's like a pet shop and cafe I was telling you about. I don't know why I can't zoom in. I'm trying to. Can you see this? This is they got little baby bunnies. They got hedgehogs. They got kittens. They got all kinds of, you can go in there and like rent a little cute little critter to hold while you drink your coffee. Look at some of the strange architecture. I mean, this looks like a video game, doesn't it? Like, what do you call it? Whatever that game is the kids play, Minecraft or something. And this is like a torch, like a flame. This was right before the Olympics. They were preparing for the Olympics. So I got my Tokyo Olympics, 2020 Olympics shirt, which is pretty cool. If you guys got any questions, let me know. We're coming up here on the end really soon. Okay, so this is Tokyo Tower. It looks like the Eiffel Tower, but you can see it's red and white. This is like really zoomed in. I'm really taking a picture through a lot of atmosphere here, so that's why it's so cloudy looking. If I ever go to Tokyo again, I might have to go Tokyo Tower. There's Oshiage. There's a beautiful pagoda. Isn't that incredible? That's beautiful. I took that picture. It's awesome. Those are the ends of my pictures. I'll tell one quick funny story. If you guys got any questions, let me know. When I was on this last day, I was homesick. Everything was so foreign. I was by myself for all this time. I didn't have anybody to talk to, and I'm looking for T-shirts. And I go to there at that Asakusa market. Couldn't find anything. Almost done. I walk into the store, and this guy's got The Offspring playing. If you grew up in the 80s, 90s, or whatever, you probably know who The Offspring are. Okay. And at first I thought it's just like a fluke, like he's playing a radio station or something, and they just played an Offspring song. Like this song ends and the next one comes on, it's Offspring. He's like playing like the whole album. And I like asked him, I was like, did you pick this music? He's like, oh yes, Offspring, very cool, very cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was just really cool, like that, and the Colonel Sanders, it's like when you've been away from home for a long time, or when you feel so like out of place, or you're homesick or whatever, like you have those little like glimpses of something familiar. And I'll say this real quick, okay, because we're coming up on the end. What has been so amazing to me about travel has been not just, like I said, that I was like an alien in Japan. Okay, it felt so different from Europe, from America, Mexico. But what also amazed me was, again, the commonality that we have. We can be so different on so much in culture, but there's still like this commonality that we have, where these people want peace. These people want to get up and provide for their family, and just have like a good life. And like everybody that I met was nice, and had a smile for me. And I don't know, it's like, so everywhere that I've traveled, I've encountered that. I mean, of course, there's grumpy people everywhere you go, but when you just realize like these people are just like you or me, like if I was born there, I would be one of them. I would be like them. I just don't understand. I think when people hate other people, ethnicities, countries, whatever, it's just because of they just haven't been exposed. They haven't met the people. They haven't talked to them. I mean, there's a lot of people that we have a lot of things different with. Even like you could think like, oh, well, a Muslim is so different than me, or somebody in the Middle East or whatever. But when you get to know those people, I mean, I know people that are Muslim and from the Middle East and stuff, and it's like we can be friends. We can hang out and have a good time, even though we have our differences. When you get to know actual people, you realize we have so much in common, and it's just great to see. So I really encourage everybody to travel. The stream is about to end. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in. Say hello. And if you enjoyed this, repost. And I got a lot of good shows coming up, so I hope you will stay tuned. I got some exciting guests coming up. But yeah, let me know what you think about me sharing my travels like this. This is kind of the first time I've done this. So I've got some other cool trips I might share in the future. So have a good night, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. Bye-bye.